I was like in year 9, and we were playing football, literally just, after school football. We're playing after school football, and we do this every day, and nothing would change. So we were playing after school football one day, and then some short fella just came up to us, and he was like, well, he's coming like, like a film. He's come in the middle of the pitch, and he's put his foot on the ball, and he was like, do you guys want to be in a film? And we were just like, what? Like, who's this guy killing our vibes? You know what I'm trying to say? Whatever. And then he was like, if you want to be in the film, just come to your drama room now to audition. So I think we went there with about probably the whole pitch, and everybody was auditioning. People that don't even do drama, people that do drama, people that like it, don't like it, etc. So everyone was auditioning, and the guy was like, pair up into groups of 5 and make a scene between you where a certain thing happens. Like, for instance, the scene that he wanted, or the scenario he wanted, is that you and a friend would be like close as a pals today, and then something would happen which makes you lot turn your back on each other. You know what I'm trying to say? So that was the scene that he gave us, and what we done was, like, between us, we done a thing where, like, 2 guys are best friends, they fall out, one of them joins a gang. When the guy that joins the gang catches the other guy, he's like, has to forcefully slice his face as like an initiation. And so that's what we made up. But the person that was getting sliced was the main character. Well, he got the main role for the project, which I haven't told you yet, but it was Ill Manners at the time. And we didn't know that. So we were auditioning for Ill Manners, and we didn't know. And then we got extra roles. And I remember just going there and just like not knowing what to expect. And that was the first thing, because I've never, like, before that, I'd never really done anything. I just literally was a drama student. And my teacher thought that I was quite charismatic as a person. So for her, she was really coming to me personally, like trying to send me to these kind of things, whereas everyone else was kind of getting like a collective chance, you know what I'm trying to say? So with that, we went, and it was like a 2-week project. And I'll be honest, because I was an extra before an actor, or before a main, I realised very quickly how shit I thought acting was. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I didn't land the top boy role yet, or I didn't do any of these things yet, or I haven't been the head or the main of anything at this point. I was just an extra. I was like the guy that walks in the back, etc. But it was like the experience. It was stuff like, all right, so we'd pack huge suitcases and wear none of the clothes inside the suitcase. When it was dinner time, we'd get served last after all the mains have eaten. We wouldn't be allowed to eat on the same table as them. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, I understand it now, but before it was just like, I felt proper excluded. I went back to school, and I kind of told my teacher just like, listen, this is not for me. And she was just sat us all down after school one day, and she was just like, I know you lot feel like hard done by kind of thing, but let's go to this other audition, an open audition, which my friend has. And I was just thinking, alright, cool, you know what's the worst that can happen kind of thing. And then the audition was in Farringdon, so this is like an area we've never been to. So in our heads, we're already thinking, yeah, this is going to be like mainstream or whatever. We didn't know what it was though, innit? Because she was just like, it's a drama series called Top Boy. That's all she said to us at the time. So that's all we knew. So we went to Farringdon. Good, this time it was quite a bit more people actually, a good 20 of us. And we were just there, like, just school stuff. We're just making bets like, nobody's going to get called back. If anybody gets called back, everyone owes him a $5 or something. Something silly like that, just doing bets. We didn't even think nothing was going on. And then we got there, and they just started pairing us up. Twos. And I don't know if it was a blessing in disguise or not, but I was the odd one out. So they paired me up with someone I'd never met before. And which in my head already, like, when I thought about it later, I thought maybe that's worked, because in the long run, me and this guy have never had to bounce off each other before in real life. So I feel like me being anyone, I could have been anyone when I walked in that room. Do you know what I'm saying? And he wouldn't be able to tell, because he doesn't know me. Whereas if I was paired with one of my pals, I might have found it more funny than serious. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like it might have been a blessing in disguise, because I could have been paired with a mate and and started pissing about or whatever. So we've got in a room, and I remember the first thing, I don't remember the first thing he said, but I remember one of the first questions, and this was Des Hamilton, because he does the casting for Top Boy usually. And I remember when I first met this guy, he was like the most charismatic guy I've ever met in my life. So with him, The first thing I remember him, or one of the first things I remember him saying to me was like, "Oh, what did you have for lunch?" Like literally, and I thought this, like, personally, I'm sitting in there thinking, "Right, is this an audition?" Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because he asked me, "What did you have for lunch? How did you get here? How tall do you think you are?" Just silly things, innit? Like, just questions. I think it was just to kind of see your reaction, or I wasn't sure at the time. So at the time, I was just literally just, I had school dinners, got here by train. And I was like, everything, I was just bouncing off him with the worst energy, but that's only because I didn't know how to react. I thought that maybe we were just having a conversation before the audition. So I kind of saw that as my nerves creeping in kind of thing. And then from there, it was like, I don't know, we sat there and we had like an interview, almost like this, because it didn't feel like an audition. I didn't have to act anything. I didn't have to remember no lines. I didn't have to do nothing with the guy beside me. And it was literally the same thing. He just got asked some questions. And that was it. It was just like, bye, and you can go. And I was just like, you know, I just come out of there thinking, what the fuck did I just do? You know what I'm trying to say? So, so yeah, on the way back, we were just talking about how bullshit it was, etc. Like, I'll be honest, like we really did not think that we did anything going there. So we come back and we were just telling like our drama teacher, like, "Oh, we're not going no more. You keep sending us to these rubbish places." I promise you, like, you don't understand. Like, we were so confused. But obviously, being young and naive, you would think this, though, innit? And literally, I think about a week after the audition, because you obviously leave your contact details or whatever, my mum just gets a phone call and they were like, "Oh, could we see Malcolm again?" I was like, "Why do you want to see you? Why do you want to see me?" Like, I thought me and you just got off on the wrong foot. You know what I'm trying to say? So I've gone back there, and I think this time he's taking me through like a scene. I'm trying to remember what I had to do in the scene. This was quite a long time ago, so I can't remember. But he's taken me through a scene this time, and I remember him just. It was early tips. It was like he was kind of putting me in a motion or kind of mind frame, which I'd never ever entered in my life because I never did acting, so I didn't know what was going on. So he kind of. Just for a rough example, let's say he tells me to do a scene where I've got to pretend I'm talking to someone beside me, for instance. It's just the type of things he would say. Like, for instance, I'm not really sure how Des would say it word for word, but it's kind of things like, say I had to imagine someone was beside me, he'd tell me where to look so it looks realistic. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And at that age and at that time, I needed that. About 5-6 months down the line, and at this time I've met most of the cast. I've chosen some of the cast. I've basically felt I've been introduced to this family by now, but I still haven't been told I've got the role. So we're doing all of these things like read-throughs, etc. But these are read-throughs not with the whole cast. At first, these are read-throughs with like just you, probably some casting directors, probably Des, etc., and a chosen character. So for today, it might be me and Jem. Tomorrow it might be me and Precious, sorry. And the day after, it might be me and Leon, etc. Because I had to do like one-to-ones. I had to sit with Nicholas in the calf. I sat with Giacomo as well, and I also sat with Olivia. So basically going through like my main characters, the people who I'd be around the most, and obviously my mother in the show, who we get to after, Sharon Duncan Brewster, one of my favourite people in the whole world, hands down. But yeah, so got a call one day, normal day, and it was just like, yeah, you got the role. I was just gobbed, absolutely gobbed, because I didn't know if I really was going there because I wanted the role. Do you know what I mean? I thought at first I was just going there for banter. So when I finally did get the role, I didn't know how to take it in. It was more or less of a, right, now where do we go from here thing. So after that, it was like costume fittings, now group cast read-throughs, etc. You'd be meeting the actual script writers and the people who filming the thing. It's like, you just started going through the motions of literally getting ready, acting, coaching classes, and you just keep going through the motions of getting ready for it, basically, and which at the time, again, I wasn't ready for, because it was like, these are a lot of things. These are actually a lot of things. Like today we might be at costume fitting. Tomorrow we're going to be at a read through. The day, and none of it's filming yet. Do you know what I mean? So there's long things to do before you even get into filming. So people don't understand the preparation from beforehand. We do a lot of stuff. We have to literally sit together like 6 hours. Like that's literally our rehearsal, and that's with an acting coach. That's not a rehearsal for something that's coming up. That might be a rehearsal for you just to get to know that person. So when I had to sit down with Giacomo, a lot of what we done were like 6-hour rehearsal classes. And it really worked because now we're like this, literally, even till today, we're tighter than anything. So I feel like if I didn't go through all of those little things and I just tried to come in head first or whatever, I wouldn't have had such a good time.